Morning, students. How are you? I hope all of you are fine. Today, I would like to discuss with you through this small video about the arrival of the Mughals. Very important lesson. And how Mughals came into India, we are going to discuss. You know that who was the last Lodi ruler? Who was the last Lodi ruler? It is very, very important. It was Ibrahim Lodi, who was the last Lodi ruler. And remember, the first invader to India was Mahmud Ghazni. After that, followed by Muhammad Ghori, and with his invasions, the Delhi Sultanate was ruled by number of dynasties, beginning with the slave dynasty started by the Qutbuddin Aibak, who was a slave, and then ended by Ibrahim Lodi ruler, the fifth and the last ruler. Surely this period was very important period, and it left lot of impact in the lives of the people both in India and also Persian. Okay, and so there was a big long term which influenced people. After that, there came the end of the Lodi ruler, which was the arrival of the Mughals, that is Babur. So today we will see the end of the Sultanate and the beginning of the Mughal ruler. So how it began. So at the turn of the 16th century, the Delhi Sultanate under the Lodi dynasty was fast disintegrating. That means they were divided among themselves. Both invasions and the infighting of the Sultanate disintegrated also and weakened the Sultanate. There was an absence of central authority, and the constant infighting among the kingdoms, regional kingdoms, paved the way for the Mughals. And so because there was infighting, that what happened was the Daulat Khan Lodi, the uncle of Ibrahim Lodi, was not happy. And also the Hindu ruler, among the Hindu ruler, Rana Sanga was the most important and the strong ruler, and so he wanted to come to Delhi, rule Delhi Sultanate by overthrowing Ibrahim Lodi. And so they invited both these kings, these two rulers. They invited Babur. So let us see Babur, how he came. Babur was also known. Who was the Babur? Babur was known as Jahiruddin Muhammad Babur. Jahiruddin Muhammad Babur was the founder of the Mughal Empire. He was descent of both Changiz and Taimur. Now how it will be? Yes, from mother's side and father's side, both of these were Changiz Khan and Taimur from the mother's side, and the father's side was Genghis Khan or Genghis Khan. So we say Genghis Khan is the Genghis Khan is the proper pronunciation of this, but you can read as well as it is written. So in they he was descended from these two important rulers. In 1494, Babur succeeded his father Sheikh, Umar Sheikh, and Umar Sheikh Mirza, and he became the ruler of Fargana, that is in Persia, at the age of 11. In 1497, Babur attacked Uzbek city of Samarkand, and captured it. However, within short span of time, both this Fargana and Samarkand both were overthrown, where he was defeated. Once again, he was defeated. Meanwhile, he was defeated, and so he was a king without kingdom. He was like king without kingdom. And so, meanwhile, Daulat Khan, the governor of Punjab, invited, he was not happy with Ibrahim Lodi, so he invited, both with the conspiracy with Rana Sanga and Daulat Khan, though both of them they conspired with Babur, and then they thought that they would invite Babur to fight against Ibrahim Lodi. So they invited Babur to invade India. Rana Sanga, the ruler of Mewar, also wanted the end of the rule of the Lodis. So he too agreed to help Babur. Both Daulat Khan Lodi and Rana Sanga thought that Babur would fight, take the loot, and then go back like his predecessor Genghis Khan and Taimur. Okay, and leave the Sultanate into their hands. At that time when Babur received this invitation, he had been defeated and driven away from this kingdom. What is there? Fargana and also Samarkand. So he was king without kingdom. He turned towards and accepted this invitation of Daulat Khan and Rana Sanga, and conquered, and he had just conquered Kabul in 1504. He grabbed this opportunity and then came to invade India. So how was that? So the first battle of Panipat, then on page number 68, you see, on hearing the Baburs and marching towards Babur marching towards Delhi, Ibrahim Lodi set out with a large army to meet his enemy. On 21st April 1526, Babur met Ibrahim Lodi at the battlefield of Panipat. At the fiercer battle of both, Lodi was defeated and was killed. Not only defeated, he was also killed. And his army were routed. Routed means completely destroyed. Babur came with a small army consisting only of 12,000 men. Babur was successful on account of the following reason. Why he was? With the small army and huge army of Ibrahim Lodi, he could not defeat the 12,000 men. And so what was the reason? First reason was Babur's army were well trained and disciplined. Babur used artillery, guns and cannons. Next, long practice tactics of Central Asian cavalry proved. Good training, well trained cavalry. Next, proper planning and superior weapons. These not bows and arrows and the spears. So all these are the reasons that Babur could finish Ibrahim Lodi's army, huge army. Next comes the Battle of Kanwa. Babur did not sit back after defeating, he did not enjoy, but he went on defeating. Next year, the following year at the Battle of Kanwa, Babur had to fight most formidable opponent Rana Sanga. Why he fought Rana Sanga? Because Rana Sanga had offered support to Babur in his attack against Ibrahim Lodi. However, he was set back. He withdrew himself, and this was a blow. This was not good behavior. Babur thought Rana Sangas did not behave well. So when Babur came to defeat Ibrahim Lodi, Rana Sanga thought that Taimur, he would leave with his boot, which would give him chance, to capture the region of Delhi and Agra. But when Rana Sanga realized Babur intended to stay here in India, he started to build his coalition army with Rajput kings and Afghan kings to overthrow Babur, defeat Babur, fight against Babur, so that he could drive Babur out of India. On 16th March 1526, 1526, the battle took place at Kanwa, near Agra, a small village near Agra. Though Rana Sanga came with a huge army, like Ibrahim Lodi, huge army as compared to Babur, Rajputs were defeated by the skilled tactics and organized army of Babur. This victory gave Babur complete control over central India, weakened the Rajput power to a great extent. That means now these Rajputs became powerless. That means they became very weak because he became more powerful, Babur, by defeating them. And so this was the reasons. This was the entry point rather. This was the entry point of Babur. He entered India with a mighty power. With his small army, he had mighty power, and it was a good beginning. And so easily he could defeat the Indian rulers. Dear students, it is the point to, it is the mistake. It is our own mistake. It is the mistake of the Indian kings that foreigners came to India and invaded, and we became slaves slowly. So here see that till now Indian kings are not able to rule. So this is how we are. So next part of the lessons